Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. Boxing, you find a way to win, you find a way to lose. Please subscribe to the channel. You won't regret it. I'm not going to give you boring, biased, monotonous content. We're going to have a conversation on this channel. Now, boom. Hey, man, keep running your mouth. Isn't that what them Charlo boys like to tell people? Keep running your mouth. And old Canelo Alvarez has started running his mouth, hasn't he? I think Canelo needs to find a reason to, get worked up for a fight. You know what I'm saying? The whole thing with, Caleb Plant. Now, I'm going to tell you, the word mother effer, Canelo used that word when Demetrius Andre stormed his post-fight press conference. Canelo used the word mother effer, and he used it correctly. Then he gets in the face-off with Caleb Plant. Caleb Plant just has to say, just happened to say the word mother effer, and then Canelo shoves him. Plant goes to, slap him. Canelo slips the punch, bing, bing, bings him, and he's out there talking about, no, you don't talk about my mother. He talked about my mother. Look, come on, man. Canelo, we far from slow. Stop taking it to the stupid. We all know that Canelo knew what the hell mother effer meant. He just didn't like the fact that Caleb Plant was in his face talking trash. But then Canelo had the audacity to come today during an interview and say, I apologize to Caleb Plant. I know what MF means now. Look, you knew it back then when you shoved Caleb Plant. But that being said, this whole thing about Jermell Charlo and saying I don't have skills and talking shit. What are you talking about? You know what, man? That's what happens when you're a boxer and you're the top of the sport. Guys are going to size you up, man. They believe in their skills too. You're not going to get Jermell Charlo to come out here and tell you how great you are, but not talk about himself and about, his skills as well. I mean, that's just how it goes. Since when have you known the Charlo brothers to sit back and say how someone's better than them? No, they're not going to do that. He gives you your respect, but this is a fight and he's coming to win. And I'm telling everyone right now, that's the difference with this opponent who's facing Canelo. Other opponents were like, boom, I hit the jackpot. I got the winning lottery ticket fighting Canelo. Charlo's like, okay, cool. But first and foremost, I got a legacy fight. Like Charlo really is about legacy. The money thing is secondary. The primary thing for him is the legacy. And he knows the opportunity he has in front of him. And I really think Charlo has a good chance to win this fight. I just have a funny feeling that people are going to be shocked at what happens in there. I get it. Everybody talking about Canelo. He built like a tank from his legs to his arms, his shoulder, his back, his neck. Charlo too small. He's not ready for what Canelo brings to the table. You know what? I don't know. But what I'll tell you right now is, when it comes to Jermell Charlo, I think he's looking not just for a defining victory, he's looking for a victory the type of victory that's gonna make all the naysayers bubble him up to the #1 pound for pound in the sport of boxing, at least on their list. And I don't think it's hard for anyone to dispute when it comes to Jermell Charlo, especially when people start running their mouths, that they find themselves, becoming acquainted with the power and speed that he possesses. Now, no matter what you think, hey, we get it. Canelo's been carrying the sport for quite some time, doing his thing. But what they say today, he fought 18 world champions or something like that. Canelo's put the work in. But I just think Charlo's made a strong case for consideration as, one of the best in the sport of boxing, arguably pound for pound, the way he went about, becoming undisputed at 154. I just think it's hard for me to believe these people don't want to even consider him. Now I get it. Pay-per-view and live gates and, having a country behind you. I understand the factors that come into play when we really start talking about the face of boxing and pound for pound the best. There's a lot of things that come into play, and when you look at it holistically, I mean, there's no argument that Canelo. I mean, he definitely outshines and far surpasses Jermell Charlo in those categories. But I'm telling you right now, this running your mouth thing is not going to do anything but fuel Jermell Charlo to try to cement himself as one of the best of this era. And I'm telling you right now, I already think he has. You know what I'm saying? I just think this is the kind of fight, let me tell you. This isn't even a Mayweather-De La Hoya fight. It's not like that. This is a little bit different. Okay, this is a little bit different. You know, De La Hoya was kind of towards the end. Canelo's, you know, we think he may be slowing, but it seemed like he's still, you know, plugging along pretty damn strong. So I think this is definitely more evenly matched. I think Canelo still has what it takes to get in the ring and dominate. So if Jermell Charlo beats him, Jermell Charlo deserves all the credit in the world. Especially if Canelo gets in that ring and he looks like the Canelo of old, throwing those combinations, man, and having the James Kirkland-like performance. But if he gets in there and, you know, he just can't get his shots off, then people aren't going to give Jermell Charlo the credit he deserves. But I'm telling you right now, I think he deserves it. I think he deserves it. And he'll tell you, he considers himself one of the best on the planet. And I just find like that bothered Canelo. Like Canelo, look, Canelo, Jermell Charlo appreciates you giving him an opportunity. His team appreciates it. His immediate circle and expanded circle appreciate it. But nobody gonna sit here and treat you like, you know, Saul Canelo Trump. You know what I'm saying? Like, no one's gonna call you, you know, the Donald. Like, get out of here, man. You ain't Trump. You know what I'm saying? It's Charlo's turn. And you're in his way, Canelo. You see, that's what people need to understand. Charlo's not in Canelo's way. You don't understand? Charlo's 154-pounder, right? Canelo's in Charlo's way of further cementing his legacy. Canelo's already there. Charlo ain't nothing. Charlo is just something to do until Canelo gets forced, which is already happening, into that damn David Benavidez fight. But I'm just telling you, when you look at Jermell Charlo and you keep running your mouth and you look at his determination, his ambition, it's a little bit different, man. That's how come he was able to bounce back in those rematches with, you know, Tony Harrison and Castaño and do what he did. Like, you think Charlo underestimates people? You think Charlo goes back to the drawing board and he's not looking at what he did great, but what he did bad, what his opponent did great, what his opponent did bad, and look at those areas that he can improve on and those areas that he can exploit in his opponent and those areas about him his opponent could possibly exploit? You don't come back and dominate a rematch the way he did unless you really take your craft serious and you all about your legacy. I'm telling you that right now. You know, Charlo is a guy who recognizes, look, anything you put in the ring with me, maybe outside the ring, Charlo sees Canelo as a human being. Once you put him inside the ring, he's like something you want to eat. Canelo becomes food. So Canelo, keep running your mouth. That's what I want to see, because for me, that makes for a great fight as a fight fan. But Charlo's looking to bite and kill any and everyone who gets in the ring with him. It's just how it is. Same thing for Canelo. Canelo ain't looking to get in there and float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, and coochie coo Jermell Charlo. I tell you what, you listen to Jermell Charlo talk, you listen to other people talk. It's a different type of passion. It really is. It really is. I mean, that fella carries a chip on his shoulder. You know, Bud Crawford carries a chip on his shoulder too. Jermell may be a little more vocal, but let me tell you something. I don't think anyone is safe from the wrath of this damn Jermell Charlo. And I think as it was it Thursday, Friday, I think we're gonna see it get a little heated during that face-off, that weigh-in and face-off. I think that's when you're gonna get Jermell Charlo popping off, and you may see Canelo try to shove him or something like that. Or who knows? Jermell may shove Canelo. You just don't know how it's gonna go. But there's definitely a certain level of competitiveness there for Jermell Charlo, and also for Canelo. You know, we got to be real. But I just really feel Charlo has proven the more somebody runs their mouth, the more Jermell Charlo is motivated to get in that ring and shut it. And Canelo is starting to chirp up a little bit. But that's what we want to see. With that being said, I'm going to go on record and I'm just going to tell you. My mind says, because of the accomplishments of Canelo Alvarez, that Jermell Charlo should not win this fight. That's what my mind says. Okay. I even agree with stuff that I did a couple YouTube shorts, just talking about things I'm hearing people say where they feel Jermell Charlo and Canelo is going to be like Meldrick Taylor versus Chavez, where Jermell is going to be up on the scorecards possibly the last 10 seconds of the 12th, and Canelo does something miraculous and gets a stoppage. But my heart tells me, damn Jermell, Derrick James, but that Juan Guzman, he is the wild card, and he may make all the difference in the world. People keep giving Derrick James credit for Jermell Charlo getting the knockdowns that he's had in every fight since he hooked up with Derrick James. I'm telling y'all, man, we probably need to look at giving Juan Guzman some credit for Jermell Charlo's performances. And definitely going into this fight, I think he's going to deserve a whole lot of credit too, especially if Jermell Charlo really puts up a good fight and gets robbed on the scorecards, or if he gets a stoppage. And I think Juan Guzman is, we can liken him to what Joey Gamache was in the corner for Teofimo Lopez against Lomachenko and against Comey. You see, that Joey Gamache made a huge difference in Teofimo Lopez performances. But nobody talks about that except for me. And I'm sitting here right now telling you, I think Guzman may be the Joey Gamache to Teofimo going up against Lomachenko. I think Guzman to Charlo may be the equivalent as Charlo gets ready to go up against Canelo. Now that being said, let's sit back, buckle our seatbelts, and get ready for the ride this Saturday, September 30th, undisputed at 168, Jermell Charlo, Canelo Alvarez. Because Canelo has started running his mouth, and you know what happens when opponents who face Jermell Charlo start running their mouth. Nothing good for them. They become acquainted with the Lions only speed and power. That being said, y'all keep cool. Shout out to the veterans, all 7 continents. I'm in the breeze.